Hey warriors, what if your own mind is your biggest enemy? It's 3 a.m. You're awake, heart racing, trapped in a loop of memories, fears, and what-ifs. Every thought spins a scenario that hasn't even happened yet. Every regret feels heavier than the last, and somehow you believe this is living, but it's not. This is mental exhaustion. A silent war waged inside your skull. The world outside can roar all it wants, but it's the battles in your head that truly wear you down. Overthinking convinces you it's preparation, when really, it's stealing your peace. Imagine a dark room, flickering lights revealing shadows you never invited. Every shadow is a fear, a doubt, a memory. Your mind leaps from one shadow to another, thinking it protects you, but all it does is drain you. The Stoics understood this. Marcus Aurelius said, "Your mind will take the shape of what you frequently think." Epictetus reminded us, "It's not events that disturb you, but your judgment about them." Your thoughts are architects of your inner world. Overthinking builds walls where freedom could live. Now picture your mind as a wild horse, untamed, powerful, unstoppable. Left unchecked, it runs toward cliffs guided, it becomes your ally. That rider? That's you. Not by silencing the horse, but by mastering the reins, not by stopping the storm, but by directing it. Every choice to observe, every pause before reacting, every thought released is a victory. Step by step, breath by breath, the storm inside you loses its power, the clutter clears, the mind sharpens, and calm rises, not as a gift, but as a skill you practice. Today, take that first step. Watch your thoughts without judgment. Release what doesn't serve you. Focus on what is present, what is real, what you can control. Your mind is not a tyrant. It is your instrument. Your peace is not a reward. It is forged here and now. Comment below. Which thought will you release today? Share with someone drowning in overthinking. And if this is your first time here, subscribe. Because mastering your mind is not luck. It's a daily practice. Your journey starts now. Take control, breathe deeply, and ride your mind instead of being dragged by it. Point 1. Identify the true source of turmoil. Stop. Feel it. That restless weight gnawing at your focus, stealing your sleep, haunting every quiet moment. The world outside blares on, emails ping, deadlines loom, people argue. But the storm that truly drains you isn't out there. It's inside your mind. You wake at 3 a.m. Memories replay like broken records. Fears whisper, doubts multiply, and imagined futures paralyze you before they even exist. Every regret, every what-if, every unspoken word adds another stone to your invisible backpack. And somehow you believe this is living. But it's not. Imagine walking through a house made entirely of glass. Every surface reflects your anxieties, your past failures, your imagined betrayal. You try to close doors, cover mirrors, but they multiply. Every reflection echoes louder than the last. You chase calm, yet your own mind traps you in perpetual unrest. The Stoics understood this centuries ago. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Epictetus reminded us, "It's not what happens to you, but how you perceive it that disturbs you." Turmoil is rarely caused by events themselves. It is your attachment, your judgment, your refusal to let go. Ego whispers, "You must control everything, anticipate every outcome, fix every problem." And your thoughts obey, creating chaos where none truly exists. Now envision standing at the edge of a raging river. The current churns, rocks shift, waves crash. You cannot stop it, you cannot command it, but you can plant your feet firmly on solid ground. Keep your gaze steady and breathe. Your perception is your anchor. The river may rage, but you remain unmoved. Your response, not the river, defines your experience. Every irritation, every fear, every imagined slight is a stone you've picked up. Recognize it, name it. Decide it need not be yours. As each stone falls away, you feel the first flicker of release. The storm hasn't changed, but your stance toward it has. Your mind transforms from a battlefield into a sanctuary. Picture it. For the first time in months or years, you feel your breath, your heartbeat, your presence, yours alone. Flexibility replaces rigidity. Clarity replaces clutter. Calm rises, not as a gift, but as mastery earned. Today, just for today, pause. Identify one burden that is not yours to carry, let it go. Observe your thoughts without judgment. Release what doesn't serve you. Focus on what is present, real, controllable. Your mind is your domain, not the world's. Your peace is your rebellion against chaos. Comment below, which inner weight will you set down today? Share with someone struggling with mental chaos. And if this is your first time here, subscribe, because inner mastery isn't luck. It's cultivated daily. Breathe. Recognize. Release. Stand firm. The world will rage. Your peace is the rebellion that no storm can touch. Claim it now. Point 2. Recognize the cost of mental loops. Stop for a moment. Listen to the whirlpool spinning in your mind. Thoughts circle endlessly. Conversations that ended years ago, mistakes you replay as if they still matter, fears of what might happen tomorrow. Your brain is stuck in a loop, and you've been paying a heavy price without even noticing. Every mental loop steals something vital from you: focus, energy, clarity, joy. It makes small setbacks feel monumental. It magnifies the insignificant, turning whispers of doubt into deafening roars. The world may seem calm, but inside, you are trapped in a relentless carousel of what-ifs, should-haves, and imagined failures. And the strangest part? You convince yourself this is preparation, as if rehearsing every scenario will protect you from the unknown. It doesn't. It only exhausts you. Picture walking in a foggy forest, where every path looks identical and every step leads back to the same spot. You move, but you do not progress. That's the cost of mental loops. Motion without forwardness, effort without impact. Every repeated thought is a tether, holding you hostage to events that cannot be changed and outcomes that do not yet exist. The Stoics understood this. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment." Epictetus emphasized, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Your mind builds walls, brick by brick, with every repeated worry. Ego whispers, "You must anticipate, plan, predict, control." And each repetition reinforces anxiety, magnifies fear, and erodes resilience. Awareness is the key. Observing these cycles without attachment is the first step to breaking them. Now imagine standing on a cliff above a roaring ocean. Waves crash endlessly, yet you find a point of stillness. The water keeps moving, it cannot be stopped, but your stance can remain grounded. Mental loops are like those waves, constant, inevitable, and unrelenting. You cannot stop them entirely, but you can choose not to be swept away. Your response is your freedom. Step by step, begin to name the patterns. Here is the same fear again. Here is the same regret. Label them, distance yourself from them. Realize that you are not the thoughts. They are passing phenomena in your mind, and each recognition diminishes their power. The cost of these loops is invisible, yet profound. Lost moments, frayed patience, diminished creativity, and a quiet erosion of your peace. But when you observe, release, and redirect, you reclaim those stolen fragments of life. Awareness transforms repetition into choice, and choice restores freedom. Today, take one loop that haunts you and decide to interrupt it. Breathe, acknowledge it. Release it. Step into the present. Mental loops no longer own your time, your focus, or your peace. You do. The world outside will continue to spin, but inside, you can find clarity, strength, and calm. Comment below. Which repetitive thought will you break today? Share with someone caught in their own mental carousel, and subscribe, because mastering your mind is a daily practice, not a fleeting moment. Breathe deeply. Step out of the circle. Your mind can wander, but it need not imprison you. Freedom begins here, in this conscious choice. Point 3. Visualize and externalize thoughts. Pause for a moment. Close your eyes and feel the constant chatter inside your head. The ideas, fears, regrets, and plans that spin without pause. It's like a storm of invisible clouds swirling above your mind. You try to organize them, ignore them, or push them away, but they keep returning, louder each time. And slowly, without realizing, this inner chaos begins to dictate your mood, your decisions, and your energy. Now imagine something radical. What if you could take those clouds, the swirling thoughts, and lay them out in front of you? What if you could see them clearly, name them, and separate the important from the unnecessary? This is the power of visualization and externalization. By moving your thoughts from inside your mind to a tangible space, on paper, a whiteboard, or even spoken aloud, you gain clarity and control. The Stoics understood this intuitively. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth." Epictetus reminded us, "Keep in mind that you are not troubled by things, but by your judgments about things." Visualizing your thoughts turns abstract mental noise into visible patterns. You can recognize which fears are real and which are imagined. You can see the loops you've been trapped in and the assumptions you've been carrying unconsciously. The act of externalization frees the mind from over-identification with thoughts. Suddenly, the storm is no longer inside you. It's on a page, something you can observe, analyze, and release. Think of your thoughts as a swarm of fireflies in a dark room. In the chaos of the night, they're hard to track. But if you capture them in a jar, suddenly each one becomes visible, understandable, and manageable. You can decide which to keep, which to study, and which to let go. The same applies to your mind. Externalizing is the jar that organizes the swarm. When you externalize, you create distance between yourself and your mental clutter. Ego no longer convinces you that every idea, every fear, every past mistake is urgent or permanent. You become the observer, the strategist, the calm center in a storm that previously felt unstoppable. Inner clarity rises naturally from this simple act. Today, choose one method to externalize your thoughts. Write your worries on paper. Speak your anxieties into a recorder. Draw diagrams, mind maps, or lists. Watch how externalization transforms confusion into comprehension, anxiety into strategy, and inner chaos into structure. Each thought that was once a hidden burden becomes a tool, a signal, or a lesson. Comment below. Which thought will you bring out into the open today? Share this practice with someone feeling mentally trapped, and subscribe, because freedom over the mind is cultivated, not given. Breathe deeply. Observe. Externalize. When the storm is seen clearly, it loses its power. Your mind becomes a workshop, not a prison. Your peace is not accidental. It is intentionally built, one thought at a time. Point 4. Apply Stoic principles deliberately. Take a moment. Notice the rhythm of your day, the emails, the responsibilities, the constant pull of opinions and expectations. Life moves fast, relentless, unpredictable. It's easy to drift, reacting to whatever comes your way, swept by circumstance. And yet, the greatest power lies not in reacting, but in choosing how to respond. The Stoics call this deliberate action. Imagine walking a tightrope above a raging river. Each step matters. One misstep, and you fall. But if you move with intention, aware of your balance, your breathing, your center of gravity, you progress safely. Applying Stoic principles is the same. Each choice, each reaction, each thought handled with awareness keeps you grounded amidst chaos. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Epictetus reminded us, "Don't explain your philosophy. Live it." Stoicism is not theoretical. It is lived, practiced, and embodied. It is not enough to read or admire the teachings. You must integrate them deliberately into every moment. Each decision is an opportunity to choose virtue over impulse, reason over emotion, wisdom over habit. Think of your mind as a garden. Without attention, weeds of anger, envy, and fear spread unchecked. Deliberate practice of Stoic principles is the daily act of tending, watering virtue, pruning irrational thoughts, cultivating patience and self-control. Over time, the garden flourishes, resilient to storms, fragrant with clarity and calm. Human psychology resists intersectionality. Ego whispers, "React now. Protect yourself. Seize what you desire." Habit lures you into automatic responses, but deliberate action creates a space between impulse and behavior, a pause where choice resides. That pause is power. That pause is freedom. That pause is Stoicism in action. Visualize a sculptor shaping marble. Each strike is purposeful. The final form is not accidental. It is the result of deliberate effort, consistent, patient, intentional. Your character is your sculpture, and Stoic principles are your tools. Each day you practice them. Each moment you respond with awareness. Your inner form becomes strong, resilient, and beautiful. Start with small actions. Notice your reactions today. Pause before speaking. Reflect before judging. Prioritize what is within your control. Respond to challenges as training, not as setbacks. Over time, deliberate action becomes instinct, and instinct becomes wisdom embodied. Comment below. Which Stoic principle will you deliberately practice today? Share this with someone ready to step out of reactive living, and subscribe. Because mastery over life is cultivated, not inherited. Breathe, observe, act deliberately. Your peace, your resilience, and your clarity are built not by chance, but by the consistent, mindful application of Stoic wisdom. Start now. Shape your life intentionally, moment by moment, choice by choice. Point 5. Harness mental energy, like a wild horse. Pause. Feel it, that restless pulse inside your mind, that surge of energy that won't sit still. Thoughts bouncing, ideas racing, anxieties climbing. Your mental landscape is alive, chaotic, unstoppable. Left unchecked, it feels like a wild horse galloping across open plains. Powerful, untamed, impossible to restrain. But here's the key. Untamed energy can either destroy or elevate. The choice lies in how you harness it. Imagine standing in a sunlit meadow. A magnificent stallion thunders toward you. Its mane flutters in the wind, muscles rippling with raw force. If you panic, step back, or try to stop it with sheer force, you are thrown, bruised, defeated. But if you approach with calm, respect, and presence, you can climb its back, guide it, and transform that raw power into forward motion. This is your mind, full of potential, yet demanding mastery. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Epictetus reminded us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Mental energy is neither good nor bad. It is neutral, left unchanneled. It fuels anxiety, distraction, overthinking. Directed with awareness, it becomes focus, creativity, clarity, and momentum. The wild horse within you does not need to be tamed through force. It needs guidance, attention, and deliberate action. Picture a river flowing with tremendous current untamed. It floods, erodes, destroys. Channel it through aqueducts, turbines, and fields, and it powers mills, irrigates crops, and generates life. Your mental energy works the same way, directed toward virtue, discipline, learning, and meaningful action. Redirected intentionally, it becomes your ally instead of your adversary. Human psychology resists restraint. The ego wants to react, to charge blindly, to seize every impulse. But harnessing your mental energy is a conscious choice. Observe the surge, feel the power, then decide where it serves best. Pause. Breathe. Decide. The more intentional your guidance, the more unstoppable your progress. Think of a blacksmith at a forge. Fire rages, sparks fly. The hammer strikes with precision, shaping molten metal into a blade. Without control, the fire burns. With mastery, it creates a weapon. Your energy is the fire, your mind is the hammer, and your actions are the strikes. With practice, every thought, every impulse, every spark is shaped into something useful, strong, and resilient. Start small. Notice one moment today where your energy spikes. Don't suppress it. Redirect it. Focus it on learning, creating, or helping. Repeat. Daily, you build the skill of internal guidance. You transform chaos into structure, raw force into deliberate power. Comment below. Where will you direct your mental energy today? Share this with someone whose mind races without pause, and subscribe. Because mastery over your mind and energy is cultivated, not inherited. Breathe. Observe. Channel. The wild horse within is not your enemy. It is your most powerful ally. Harness it, and you move through life with unstoppable momentum and quiet strength. Point 6. Build habits to manage thoughts. Stop for a moment. Notice the flow of your mind. Thoughts appear uninvited. Memories, doubts, worries, fleeting desires. Some cling, some swirl, some collide. Without structure, your mind feels like a river in flood, rushing uncontrollably, leaving erosion in its wake. But what if you could channel this current? What if you could cultivate routines that transform chaos into clarity? This is the power of habit. Imagine a gardener tending a wild garden. Left unattended, vines tangle, weeds choke life, and the soil becomes barren. But with consistent care, watering, pruning, planting, the garden flourishes. Your mind operates the same way. Each thought is a seed. Without intentional attention, the weeds of fear, regret, and distraction overrun your mental space. With disciplined habits, you nurture focus, resilience, and insight. Marcus Aurelius advised, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Epictetus reinforced this. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Habits are not restrictions. They are tools of liberation. Meditation, journaling, reflection, deliberate pauses. These are anchors that keep your mind steady amidst life's storms. Each repeated action builds a groove in your consciousness, guiding your thoughts toward virtue and away from chaos. Over time, these routines become automatic, allowing you to navigate your internal world with grace rather than struggle. Picture a blacksmith's wheel turning steadily, shaping clay into a vessel. Every rotation is small, almost imperceptible, but consistent effort transforms raw material into something useful and beautiful. Your mental habits work the same way. Small, intentional actions repeated daily create a mind that is structured, resilient, and unshakable. Human psychology resists repetition. The mind craves novelty, reacts to impulses, and clings to immediate rewards. But habits overcome the chaos of distraction. They convert fleeting attention into sustained focus, impulsive reactions into deliberate choices, scattered energy into directed effort. The more consistent you are, the less you are at the mercy of your own thoughts. Begin with a simple routine. A 5-minute morning reflection, a nightly journalism session, a pause before reacting to challenges. Observe your thoughts, note their patterns, release what serves you. Not each day, your mind becomes more navigable. Each repetition is a step toward mastery. Slowly, you reclaim the terrain of your consciousness, turning it from a battlefield into a sanctuary. Comment below. Which habit will you start today to guide your thoughts? Share this with someone who feels overwhelmed by mental noise, and subscribe, because controlling your inner world is not luck, it's cultivated practice. Breathe. Repeat. Strengthen. Through small, deliberate habits, your mind becomes a tool of clarity, your thoughts become allies, and inner peace is no longer elusive. It is built, one intentional action at a time. Point 7. Transform anxiety into clarity. Pause. Feel it, that tightness in your chest, the rapid beat of your heart, the tension in your shoulders. Anxiety isn't just a fleeting emotion, it's a signal, a current of energy moving through your mind and body. Left unchecked, it spirals into overwhelm, confusion, and paralysis. But what if this same energy could be harnessed? What if anxiety could be the spark that illuminates clarity instead of shadowing your thoughts? Picture a stormy sky. Dark clouds swirl, lightning flashes, winds howl. If you fight the storm, you are battered, exhausted, lost. But if you observe it, understand its patterns, and learn to move with it, the storm becomes guidance. Anxiety, like the storm, carries information. It reveals where your attention, fears, and assumptions are focused. Recognize it, and you can redirect its force. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Epictetus added, "It's not what happens to you, but how you interpret it that matters." Anxiety thrives on uncertainty and lack of control. It convinces you that danger is imminent, that failure is around the corner, that the mind must anticipate everything. But the Stoics teach us to distinguish between what is within our power and what is not. Your thoughts, your choices, your attention. These are yours. The storm outside, the unknown ahead. These are not. By directing your focus inward, anxiety loses its tyrannical grip and becomes a tool of insight. Imagine holding a torch in a dark forest. The shadows flicker, and you see shapes that seem threatening. Panic tells you to flee blindly, but if you use the torch wisely, observe, illuminate, guide, you move with awareness. Anxiety is your torch. It exposes blind spots in your mind, highlighting unresolved issues, unspoken worries, and hidden priorities. Harness it, and it lights your path. Every breath, every pause, every intentional reflection converts restless energy into deliberate understanding. Journalism, meditative focus, or even speaking thoughts aloud channels anxious tension into actionable clarity. What once felt like chaos becomes a map, revealing priorities, solutions, and truths that were invisible in distraction. Human psychology amplifies anxiety through rumination, replaying events, fearing outcomes, exaggerating threats. Stoic practice interrupts this loop. By observing, labeling, and releasing, you reclaim mental space. You learn that anxiety is not your enemy. It is information misinterpreted. It paralyzes. Applied, it informs. Mismanaged, it consumes. Harnessed, it illuminates. So today, pause and ask, what is this tension telling me? Where is my attention scattered? Which imagined threats are stealing my energy? Observe without judgment. Redirect the current. Step by step, breathe by breath, the mind sharpens, confusion fades, and clarity emerges from what once felt like chaos. Comment below. Which anxious thought will you turn into insight today? Share this with someone caught in mental turbulence and subscribe, because mastering anxiety is not luck, it's deliberate practice. Breathe deeply. Feel the energy. Transform it. Let anxiety guide you toward clarity instead of control you. Your mind can be a compass, not a battlefield, if you choose awareness over fear. Point 8. Practice daily mastery and empowerment. Stop. Take a breath. Notice how small, repetitive choices shape the trajectory of your day. The alarm rings. You rise. Do you respond to habit, impulse, or intention? Each moment is a crossroads, an opportunity to practice mastery or surrender it. Mastery is not reserved for the extraordinary. It is forged in the mundane, in daily decisions that define who you are and who you become. Imagine a blacksmith at his forge. Each strike of the hammer does not immediately create a sword, but with repetition, precision, and patience, a blade emerges. Resilient, sharp, ready, daily practice is your forge, and each action, thought, and discipline is a strike that strengthens your inner steel. Without it, potential remains dormant, blurred by distraction and complacency. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Epictetus reminded us, "Don't explain your philosophy, live it." Stoic mastery is not theory, it is action, repeated and deliberate. Every thought observed, every impulse restrained, every challenge faced with composure is a brick in the foundation of empowerment. The world will throw distractions, frustrations, and chaos. Without practice, your inner fortress wavers. With it, you become the calm, measured center in the whirlwind. Consider your mind as a garden. Left unattended, weeds of doubt, fear, and resentment overtake it. Daily cultivation, reflection, meditation, deliberate action is sunlight and water. Each morning, each decision to act with integrity, courage, and focus strengthens roots that hold firm against storms. Mastery is the habit of tending your inner landscape consistently without needing applause or recognition. Human psychology favors the easy, the immediate, the comfortable. Ego whispers, delay, ignore, distract yourself. The Stoic mind answers, the practice of virtue and mastery is my true path. Power is not given externally. It is developed internally, incrementally, moment by moment. What is cultivated today will manifest tomorrow as resilience, composure, and authority over self. Visualize climbing a mountain. No single step carries you to the summit, but every step is essential. Daily mastery is your stride, consistent and unwavering. Miss a step, and the ascent slows. Take the next with focus, and momentum builds. Empowerment is the view from the summit, a clarity, confidence, and freedom that comes from repeated, conscious effort. So today, act deliberately. Observe your thoughts. Respond, don't react. Speak truthfully. Perform tasks with attention. Pause before judgment. These small acts accumulate into mastery. Repetition transforms intention into instinct. Chaos may rage outside, but your mind becomes your command center, your life a testament to inner strength. Comment below. Which daily habit will you commit to mastering today? Share this with someone seeking control over their mind, and subscribe, because personal empowerment is not accidental. It is intentional, built one conscious action at a time. Breathe. Act. Repeat. Your mastery is your responsibility. Your empowerment is your right. Practice it now. Practice it daily, and watch your inner fortress rise, unshaken by the world. Conclusion. Take a moment. Breathe. Look back at everything we've explored today, the battles within, the storms outside, and the choices that define who you are. Mastery is not a destination, it is a practice. Every thought you observe, every habit you refine, every decision made with intention strengthens your mind, your character, and your life. The world will continue to pull, distract, and challenge you. Chaos is inevitable. People will disappoint. Plans will fail. Storms will come. But here's the truth. The Stoics lived by, and what you can embody too. You cannot control the external world, but you can control yourself. You can rise above overthinking, fear, and the endless tug-of-war inside your head. Every day is a chance to practice mastery. Small, deliberate actions compound into unshakable strength. Respond instead of react. Let go of what does not serve you. Face discomfort with courage. Protect your attention like a fortress. With consistency, your inner calm becomes unbreakable, your clarity unmistakable, your empowerment undeniable. So, pause, reflect, decide. Which thought will you release? Which habit will you commit to? Which action today will define you tomorrow? The answers lie in conscious choice, repeated practice, and the courage to keep moving forward even when the world conspires against your peace. Comment below. What steps will you take today towards mastery? And if you watch this video to the end, please leave a comment sharing your thoughts. Your insights may inspire someone else to regain control of their mind. Like this video if it resonated with you, so it reaches others searching for calm amidst chaos. Share it with friends, family, or anyone struggling with mental clutter. They need to hear this truth and subscribe, because this journey toward inner strength, clarity, and Stoic empowerment is only just beginning.